We better get this going, hadn't we, eh? What do you reckon? Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Sunday shop, do 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 do. Arr. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, welcome, salutation, and welcome to, well, a bloody cold Sunday Sharpe. Yeah. Howdy, Yella and Tommy. How you doing? Yeah, so it's been a week, and Marit, my darling, how are you? And Mandy, oh dear, all the cool people are turning up, and all the lovely, gorgeous ones as well. I'll stop what I'm doing and go, big hugs. And Marquis Mark as well, the Baron of Barrows, how you doing? Good to see you, sir. Yes, so in probably a complete opposite to the weather that certainly Mark's probably experiencing at the moment. We have had a week of sub-zero temperatures here in the UK. Got down to -7 last night. Yes, very cold. Thank you, Merritt. You can tell it's cold because I've got 2 layers on. I nearly even wore trousers or pants. Yeah, so -7 hasn't got above. Well, I think today is the warmest it's been since last Sunday, and it's like 2 degrees at the moment. So yes, not particularly what you'd call pleasant. I'm guessing it's probably colder in Norway though, so I'm not going to grumble too much. We're just not used to it in the UK. As much as we're known for being cold and wet and nasty, yeah. So yeah, -7 is 19 degrees Fahrenheit. For the Americanos amongst you, just so you know, that's real cold. That's why I haven't even had a shave yet. He's eating here at 5 a.m. Exactly, Mark. And then it's like, nah, 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 nah. -17. Is that hot or cold? Well, -7 is 19 Fahrenheit, Sam. -17 is probably getting on for 0. It's the kind of weather where you just don't go outside because it's just not worth it. It's not safe. That's why I didn't see Mary today, because it's just too dangerous. And I'm not saying I don't trust Mary to drive safely in snow, well, no snow, but ice, sheet ice, the racist kind of ice, the black ice. It's all the other idiots that are out on the roads that I don't trust. And even from cycling home yesterday from work, that was very, very clenchy. There was no cycling one or no handed. It was both hands on the bars and gripping the seat tightly. There was quite a bit of black ice about, and oh, and Linkbot's here as well. God, yeah. Time for DP. Time for dog park. Grumpy old. Oh, sorry. Zach, where you gone, buddy? I'll find him. I'm back in a mo. Oh, ow. Oh, oh, there he is. Come on, little buddy. Let's increase the cuteness of the stream by a long way. Better? Yes. Stream is now a lot cuter. And the Limmy, I think they're about to be fed. The 50s though, which is still pretty damn cold for Texas. 50 after 0, let's see, is mid-teens, I think. Oh, 10. Yeah, we're quite happy with 10 degrees. That's definitely shorts and t-shirt weather. Deli, darling, how the devil are you? So yeah, that's pretty much been the talk of the week around here. Not really been much happening fishy-wise. I mean, I did trim a couple of my Anubiuses. As you can see by the vast amounts of Anubius now in the fry tanks. Yes, that's trimmings off of 2 Anubiuses, one from a 10-gallon tank and one from a 17. And they're both trimmings from 1 Anubius. Oh no, sorry to hear that, Del. New job, and then you get gut rot all week, and then that happens. I'm sorry. Yeah. Special gentle huggle. Because if I were there, I would definitely give you a huggle. I know it does, but for some reason it always seems to happen to the good people, not the people who deserve it. Yeah, it's... Oh, light, you bastard. You will do, and there's not really anything I can say or do to help or anything. It's one of those where I can offer my sympathies and my condolences, but I mean, even if you were like right there, all I could do is give you a hug and just be here or be there for you. And I will reiterate, my hair's doing weird things today. If any of you want to have a chat, want to have a natter, you've probably all got me on Messenger or SnotSap, or my emails on the channel. Yeah, I don't blame you, Del. I know a little of your history. I'm not going to Not going to say anything because I don't know what is public and what isn't. Um, but yeah, I'm here. Well, not for everyone. I mean, hell, I've just been given a sort of sideways promotion at work, and this will make you laugh. All right, I cancel. Oh god. Oh, that sucks even more. But yes, I am going to be the well-being champion. Quite why they choose champion as the term for anything. I don't know. But yes, I'm going to be the one that people get to come to if they've got a problem. Yeah, I mean, I've kind of unofficially been doing it for God knows how long. Um, but I don't know whether it's because I'm as nuts as anyone else is. I've been there, done that, or I'm just old, and people seem to trust me for whatever reason. And people do actually just generally come to me if they've got something. Um, they want to talk to someone about it. For some reason, they come to me. So it kind of made sense for me to take it on, as it were. But as I said, like Adele, had a traumatic past, shall we say? That bloody side, isn't it? You know, around a bit of floof keeps sticking out. Um, you know, I've I've had enough of dwelling on the negatives of my history, and if I can use it as a positive and help other, God, that sounds bad, doesn't it? Sounds so sycophantic. But if I can use, I'm going to put this in quotation marks so it doesn't sound completely sarcastic. If I can use my pain and my grief and history to help others, I view that as a positive. Yeah, so it's who better to, if you're struggling with depression or you know, anxiety or any of these kind of things, than someone who's been there, done that, had the t-shirt, worn it out, turned it into rags, worn them out, and then used them to light fires. Oh, pardon me. I think trauma and obsession with hobbies go hand in hand. Something so. Yeah, it's and a lot of it depends on the hobby as well. Made beautiful. Oh, howdy, Mike. That's lovely of you, Adele. It really is. Um, where was I? I was going to say something meaningful. Ah, yes, the hobbies and the traumas. Yeah, my thinking on it is if you've got stuff wrong with your head, shall we just say, um, then having that kind of hobby that you can just sink yourself into and it's all that occupies the brain or it keeps the brain occupied, then it gives you that quiet time in your head, as it were, that just allows 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 your mind to be clear and refocus and center, as it were. Sam's going to DP with the dog. And if you're not aware, DP is short for dog park. It's not something perverse, even though it is Sam. And so we expect it to be perverse. It's not. I'm not t-shirt. I would turn him into a quilt at this point. Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less. I wouldn't expect, you know. And the fact that it's a priest's dog collar, that is the. What does DP mean beside dog park? Yeah. Or it was Dallas Page before he became Diamond Dallas Page. Diamond painting, and you're very good at that. Deadpool. Anything beginning with P in German, because das. Oh, he wishes. I mean, he's a priest in the same way that most Catholic priests are, I think. Sorry, Sam. Oh dear. I'm going to get myself in trouble now, aren't I? Oh. Yeah, don't go saying that. No, Yogi Dallas Page. Yeah, of all the people you would have thought would become a like guru, you know, a yogic guru, flipping Diamond Dallas Page. Next, you're going to tell me that Jeff Jarrett's become a counsellor. I was going to go with Hulk Hogan, but we know what he's turned into. An ordained minister. What, in the Church of Satan in 2006. Oh, there's so many ways I could go with that, but none of them are suitable for family viewing. And I know we can get rather crude and rather dark around here, but I do try to keep it vaguely suitable for family viewing. He says, smoking a pipe. Probably a whole bunch of 18 rated DVDs behind him. Well, yeah, there must be. There's a Richard Pryor box set. Well, there are obvious ones, are there? Frankie Boyle Live. Your Live 8, that should have been 18 rated. Ugh. Pete Doherty and Elton John trying to sing Children of the Revolution. Yes, that's what we love about you, Marriott. We love that you got to the point in life where you just don't care anymore and you say what you think. You say that, Mandy. I'm surprised that when I go to visit a church, I don't have to have it reconsecrated afterwards. That kind of pipe, Mark. Proper pipe. That's no F's given, exactly. Although, you know, You know, I'd give you a damn good cuddling. Although, given your back, you'd probably slap me if I tried to cuddle you right now. And at some point, I will figure out how to keep these things alight for more than 5 seconds without constantly puffing on them. Perhaps I just need to use a bloody Zippo instead of a gas lighter. Ooh, pardon me. No, don't put it in the middle, Sharpe. That looks really perverse. Yeah, I think I could safely say that any religion that would have me, you wouldn't want to be a part of. I'd probably end up being a high priest of Relief or somewhere like that. Relief in which dead Cthulhu lays dreaming. Just as believable as any other religion, to be honest. In my opinion. It's weird. I smoke a cigarette in that side of my mouth and I smoke a pipe in that side of my mouth. Don't go guessing what I'd smoke in the middle of my mouth. Probably a cigar. Well, my money's on that side then, because I've been smoking for 30, nearly 35 years now out of that side of my mouth. But yeah, got to make sure both lungs get a good lungful. It's because I hold the pipe in my left hand, because then I can still do stuff with my right hand, like operate a remote or type on a phone or a tablet. Just kidding. I hope you don't. Well, thank you very much, Sam. I'll take that as a positive. I'm trying to kill the cancer cells with the caffeine. It seems to be working so far. I really shouldn't make jokes about that, should I? It's like when you say anything, you put the curse on it. Like in motorsport, the commentator's curse. Oh, well, it was Moose. How you doing? Yeah, the commentators curse are like, oh, we've had a long period of green flag running, no safety cars or yellow flags, or they've been doing so well. They're doing really well today. Yeah, there's either going to be a massive crash or it's going to absolutely throw it down with rain. Knock on wood and you'll be good. Another reason to smoke, I can always knock on wood if I've got my pipe in my hand. But yeah, it feels weird having the pipe in my right hand. It goes in my left hand. And to be honest, it's nice and warm as well. Although I did discover something about fluval heaters. When the temperature of the tank gets lower than you set it, because obviously when they're at the right temperature, the light goes green. When they're too hot, the light turns red. When they're too cold, the light turns blue. It's only like a degree of difference. But when it drops a couple of degrees, the light starts flashing at you. When you wake up in the morning and there's a light flashing in your fish tank that you're really not expecting, it's not. It's kind of alarming. And it's not quite as bad as if you set a fluval flex onto the thunderstorm setting. Why do they all come preset on that? Anytime you get a flex or any of the fluval tanks with that light set up and remote on them, I always come set on thunderstorm, the one thing you never use, along with all the various different colours in my view. Literally, I mean, why do you need that many buttons on a bloody fish tank light remote? I mean, you got on, off, which is for the white, up and down for the brightness. Then you got moonlight, and you got cloudy or thunderstorm. Then you got color change. And you got turn on the red, green, or blue, or all three. Up and down, and then all the various different shades in between. So making sure that that mode gets used at least once, yeah. Tommy Bahama. Haha. I would have thought it would be sensible pre-programming them to come on at, I don't know, half brightness, pure, just the white light, rather than you plug it in and it just starts flashing at you. Mind you, wouldn't be the first time I turned something on that started flashing at me. Yeah, exactly. A brightness and an on-off. That's all you need. Yes, we all love Adele's laugh. Yes. There's nothing fake about it. There's nothing fake at all about Adele. Need coffee and a big cry. Okie dokie. Well, if you want to chat, I'm here. I'll send you lots of e-hugs. Oh my God, hubby bought me Starbucks. That's why you married him, Mandy. He knows when you need coffee. He's not like, uh-oh. Yeah, coffee. You're always welcome, you know that. Warm water changes of the future. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't have any heating on in my house. Because anyone living in the UK at the moment, they're like, what the? How? Why? All these. They're all heated to 24 or 25 degrees-ish. Drops on the speed. He's back asleep by now these days. Lots of espresso getting done. Yeah, so literally my fish tanks are my heating. Now there is actually reasoning behind that, because I know people say, oh, it's cheaper to heat the room than it is to heat the tanks. It can be. definitely can be. If you've got fairly efficient, up-to-date heating. I have storage heaters from the 1980s. They cost an absolute fortune to run. And also, you turn them on and you don't get warmer till the next day. Which, okay, fair enough. Problem is, if it then gets warm again, let's say you just have a random cold snap and you go, oh, put some heating on, it will then be hot for another day. So if it gets warm again, you end up baking alive because it just gets ridiculously hot, and there's nothing you can do about it. Basically, a big metal box full of bricks and an element. That's all that's in them. Oh, traumatic thumb injury. What you been doing? Yeah, I mean, as I say, if you've got an up-to-date modern heating system, it probably is more efficient to heat the room or the house than the tanks. But as I say, I've got, what is it, 14, 15 tanks running, somewhere like. It's only hurt her thumb smashing the like button so hard. You only have to tickle it. You can even boop it with your nose. Why does milk taste so bad at the moment? Every bottle I get tastes worse. Pass. Are you buying them on the? Just licked it. Are you getting the milk off of the reduced shelf? That might explain it. Or perhaps the cows have been eating something weird. Dangerous sort of walking while old. You're not old, Mandy. I keep telling you that. Stop putting the freshness seals on the milk, which means that air will still get to it because they don't seal. Yeah, that's not going to help matters. You might want Canadian milk where it comes in a bag. Building up a resistance to the milk. Yeah, dangerous sport of walking. Didn't see the hole in the ground because the grass was too high. I tripped and caught myself on my thumb. Yeah, been there, done that. Well, we know about me and breaking digits. Yes, I've broken, put the pipe down, put the light down. I've broken that bone in my thumb on both sides from doing exactly what you did. Bent back, snap, swear, bend it back straight, carry on. But yeah, thumb injuries are the worst because basically you can't use your hand. The two most important digits on your hand are, and excuse the state of my nails, but thumb and forefinger. Because, yeah, they just are. They've done scientific studies. As long as you can still use a longbow, exactly. As long as you can still put two fingers up to the French, you're okay. For those unaware, the reason that the two-fingered salute is a thing goes back to the ye olde times when the French and the English were at war for literally hundreds of years. 107 years, 100-year war. No joke. But yes, the English archers used to use longbows, a proper old English war bow, sort of 200 to 300 pound draw weight on them. And if the English archers were captured by the French, they cut off the first two fingers on their right hand, so they couldn't use their bow. So doing the old two-fingered salute is a British way of saying to the French, "Ha ha! I can still use my bow." Ricos are pretty, but it's just something about the brutal power of an English longbow. A 6-inch stave of yew wood. Yeah, I'm full of interesting random factoids. Yeah, 6-inch stave or 6-inch, 6-foot stave of longwood. Longwood? Duh. Start again. A 6-inch stave of yew, the wood from the yew tree, the one that weirdly we grow in graveyards. And yeah, the road I live on is called Yew Tree, and it's nothing to do with the operation that was in the news many years ago. Although I did get worried when I heard it on the news. That was the one where they caught all the famous or the celebrity PDF files. Yeah, that one's probably, yeah, man, the shark didn't get all of my fingers. Yeah, I mean, was it Todd's Workshop? If you're not familiar with the channel, TODS, single D, Todd's Workshop. He makes, well, he's a medieval armorer. He makes the weapons and the armor for like TV shows and movies. And he's got a YouTube channel where he explores what the weapons are actually capable of. F-surfers, I ping 5-ounce sinkers at them. Why doesn't that surprise me, Mark? Just whack it out into the surf. If there happens to be a surfer in the way, well, it's chum, really, isn't it? Thank you very much, Mandy. Oh, mini biota, fancy saltwater tidal ecosystem. That sounds interesting. Yeah, and YouTube's been having a hissy fit this week with what it's been recommending for me to watch. I mean, in a way, it's probably fairly accurate, but it's not what I want to watch on YouTube. And it's all the try-on hauls, which is where generally young, buxom ladies buy a bunch of new clothes and try them on. Having watched a couple just for research purposes to see what it was all about. Like, what the heck is this? Click on things out of morbid curiosity sometimes, and I'm like, there's this disclaimer comes up at the start. You know, this is not for sexual gratification. This is purely to show off the clothing and the style and fashion and the quality and the fabric and the fit and BS. Why is everything either extremely revealing or transparent, and why do you feel the need to jiggle in it? And why is there always a link to an OnlyFans in the About section? You know, just being thorough, doing my research. Let's be honest, if I want to watch that, there are far better sites to watch it on. Far longer form videos as well. Not shot on a phone either. I mean, as I say, I wonder where it gets it from, because I don't search for those kind of things. It's there, I don't know. Although I did click on the little button that came up in YouTube Studio, and so now Google can use my content to help train AI. Oh, we're going to break the AI. And that's if the AI can actually figure out what I'm saying most of the time, because the YouTube subtitles can't. I mean, if you want to laugh, stick the subtitles on. It barely ever has any resemblance to what I'm actually saying. It probably came up with burps loudly then, though. Wavemaker actually makes waves. It's not just a power head. Yeah, I think the reason they call them a wave maker is because it blows the water against the other side of the tank and then it comes back in waves. Just submitted the page to FFL, so they'll also be added when Matt updates it next. Ooh. Subtitles are not available on this stream. Exactly, you see. YouTube has given up. The box has been ticked. Unless they changed it. Yeah, so yeah, ecosystem designs, I don't exactly design. I've tried watching scaping videos. I just lose the will to live. I'm like, just put the bloody wood in and the plants in and the rocks in. It's not that hard. Just go plop. Yeah, that fits there. That looks okay. Yeah, that fits. That's okay. Well, these ones get tall, so we'll put them at the back. These ones get medium height, we'll put them in the middle. These ones get small, we'll put them in the front. Yeah, that'd do. Oh. One of these days, maybe I will make a video of me scaping a tank. Probably upset most scapists. And that's not a good word to try and say when you've got a bit of a lisp. YouTube says your guess is as good as mine. Yeah. I mean, I have actually had people ask me in the past what language I'm speaking. It sounds like English, but I can't understand it. Oh, my mouse has turned off. No, we'll postpone the updates. Thank you. Gibberish is a language. Yeah. You really want to confuse the bot that does the subtitles. Latin. Just put quotes around scaping in the title and they can't complain. Oh, they still will. Last time I did anything and called them a bunch of scapists, they got upset with me. Pseudoscaping. Sharpe dumps stuff in a tank and goes, yeah, that'll look okay. Because it's a ever-changing thing. It doesn't stay the same. People who have to make sure that the substrate is all perfectly level or got a beautifully smooth slope, or restart there. Go away updates. Right, professional pogo stickers. Yes, there are videos of pogo sticking ladies as well. Government method escaping. Chuck it all in and see what happens. Or stick a bunch of stuff in, then just gradually remove it over time without people noticing. Oh dear, did I get that cynical? But, yeah, let's say it does always amuse me when people are worrying too much about how level and neat the substrate looks. I'm thinking, just chuck a pleck in there. You won't have to worry about it ever again. Just a bristle nose. I mean, I would like to see someone do a Shelley tank who is a scapist. Someone who likes the sand all neat and level and precise and pristine. And then they position all the shells perfectly according to feng shui or whatever other principle they're using. And then they put the Shelleys in there. Come downstairs the next morning and the tank's been destroyed. There are mountains and holes and the shells have all been moved. And oh, I do. My clowny plex are getting brave. I actually saw all three of them at once the other day. And they're getting good in chonkers as well. They're not going hungry, despite the amount of snails and shrimp in the tank. Neither of which are meant to be in there. Yes, one of those accidental shrimp colonies that takes off when the one you really want to do well doesn't. Is it just a thing where a shrimp colony gets to a certain age and then just starts dying down? I mean, it's not that there's not enough calcium in the water or anything, because this is my water. It's about 83% calcium. Smoking helps heat the room. Yeah, exactly. And we have fire. We have heat. We have air pumps that need cleaning out regularly because the little rubber flapper valves get coated in tar. We have fish with nicotine dependency issues. I swear some people get a protein film on their tank. I get a nicotine film on mine. Membership, super stickers, and super chats. Oh my, they are fun and they help support the channel. Thank you, Linkbot. And thank you, Matt, for putting Linkbot together. I suppose I could set a goal, but that just feels bad. Feels wrong. It's like, I expect this much. And I'm just happy that people subscribe, watch occasionally, and some people are members and have been for quite some time. And I'm truly appreciative of it. You can tell I've not seen Mary today. I can barely speak English. I need that dose of Suffolk every once a week to bring my language back to human again. Ooh, that did something weird. I think I might have tried exhaling smoke while I was drinking the energy drink, and I think I got smoke in my stomach now. Oh well, never mind. If I burp later and it's smoky, we'll know why. Heat lamp still. I'm sitting. My fault. Extreme at an ungodly hour today. Well, the time I stream goes back a long way. As I took a time slot that was available between can't remember her channel name. It's been that long since she posted anything. Uh, but Dee used to go live at 5 UK time, and then Joseph used to go from 8. So I took the 6 to 8 gap in the middle to fill, as it were. And all these years later, I'm still here. Oh, I miss Amber, though. I think we all miss Amber, don't we? Those of us who knew her, know her. The artist formerly known as Big City Betters. Oh dear, Mandy. Sunday's not Sunday without. Oh, Mike. And you've been a member for a whole year. Thank you very much. Actually, no, I haven't got anything to write a note on. I was gonna make a note to. I keep threatening to do it. Put a second tier in. I might actually remember to do it. Yeah, Amber, bless her, she's lovely. We all love Amber. Such an innocent little sweetie. Oh dear. Still remember the time she was streaming, and I think she was showing around the new house. I had to send her a message. Amber, what's your camera angles? She was accidentally pointing the camera down her top. Jeez. Amber, we can see more than you want us to. Bless her, she went bright red. I did have to make sure to say I'm not complaining, I'm just for your benefit. Many angles to watch out for. Yeah, she has some very lovely angles. I keep saying had. As far as I'm aware, she's still with us. Remind me in 4 hours. There we go. Yeah, we do miss her. I might have to send her a message. Not that she was ever any good at replying to messages. It could be weeks or months later before you got a reply. Bless her. But then she moved to the swamp cottage in Florida, as she named it. Um, got all the kitty cats, and I don't know if she's still there or not. I haven't heard from her in a while. But if you ever want to breed betters or learn about betters, Big City Betters, best channel for it on the internet. It has gone out already. One day we will all, yeah, one day we will all just be memories. I'll probably be quite a lot of people's bad memories. But, oh, thank you, Mandy. I'm sure if she suddenly starts getting a whole bunch of views and comments, she'll be like, what the heck's going on? Maybe that's what we should do. We'll go leave a comment on one of her videos. Miss you, Amber. So, I don't know if Marit's still here, but Marit's not posted anything for a while either. And I know we all miss Marit's lovely voice. Oh, yes. Well, I do, anyway. I don't know. Have you posted anything recently, Mandy? I'm rather out of touch with watching fish tubey videos. I do apologise to anyone who is posting regular content. Pardon me. YouTube's probably done that thing where it's unsubbed me for everyone because it's very rare I get any notifications come up. I get them for Aquafunk. But usually when Funk streams, I'm at work. Yay! Mud Skipper at nearly 10k. Woohoo! I've got a few that are over that, but not many. Although I do have a tank that has paid for itself in the money it's made on YouTube videos from the unboxing and yeah, it was the unboxing video. Oh, Mandy live streams. We want to see that, definitely. Mandy live would be awesome. The Mark and Mandy show, that's what we want to see. Be like Mork and Mindy, but just a bit more insane. Is that what? Yeah, it's because he's got a big old, like Mork and Mindy. Nanu. Anyway, that's you. Rather than say hello, Nanu. I don't blame the Samsung. Just because you type the word money more than you type the word Mindy. Be like me in 2020 whenever I tried to type lockdown on my phone, it came up with lick down. That led to some very unfortunate text messages. You're not a dork, Mark. I use Samsung Swipe. I, yeah, I turn all those things off on gadgets. I turn off predictive text. I turn off auto carrot. They just get you in trouble, and even if, or they don't get you in trouble. Sometimes you don't want to type duck. Or fudge. Although I did have to laugh. I had for some reason the various job websites haven't kicked me off yet, so I still get the odd email or whatever through from them. And there's a fairly local company that makes fudge. Some unfortunate incidents, I can imagine. Yeah, so there's this local company, relatively local company that makes fudge, and they were looking for packing operatives. And yes, the job title was fudge packer. Really, you didn't run that past a 13-year-old boy? No one saw that and thought, maybe we should rename this job title. Maybe we shouldn't call it that. But then the amount of times you'll see a sign or a logo for a company or something, you just, or any kind of anything really, you're just like, I know what it's supposed to say or mean or whatever, but someone missed something there. There's one I saw is a family planning clinic, and the sign outside basically looks like the mum, the dad, and the child have all hung themselves. What? Yeah. Yes, I do watch Refashion Hippie. Yes. Maggie is lovely and she makes me laugh a lot. Is Maggie, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. And she knows exactly what she's doing as well and plays up to it very well. There are a couple of very standout parts to that channel, yes, indeed. Yes. Her laugh and her sense of humour. Hey, what can I say? I'm a sucker for an attractive redhead with certain assets and a good sense of humour. Yeah, yeah. Given the text and the things that her dad does send her, yeah. If you've not watched Refashioned Hippie, I highly recommend it. Completely not fishy related at all. If anything, it is more fashion related, but it's normally taking the mickey out of fashion rather than, mind you, if someone was going to do a transparent try on haul, I'd definitely watch that one. Uh, Hey, some people have an inner perv. I have an outer perv, okay? Deal with it. At least I'm open and honest about it. What can you do? At least then people expect me to do something pervy. Yeah, go watch and try not to laugh. Exactly. The one, was it yesterday or the day before? Uh, about the mine they're going to be putting in, or I want to put in just by one of the Great Lakes. I enjoyed that one. Yes, remember to drink your water. I can't remember the last time I drank water. It would probably have been while accident siphoning a fish tank or on a bike ride. That would have been it. Be the last time I went for a good bike ride, which was probably September. Be the last time I drank water. Come on, all of us here that keep fish have had the accidental mouthful of fish tank water. It's not tasty, and it's not going to do you any harm long term. Probably won't even give you the runs if you've got a decent immune system anyway. Although, tangent, people are so worried about bacteria these days that they keep things so clean, especially following 2020. But I'm pretty sure people's immune systems have got weaker because everything is so sterile and clean. Everything gets anti-bac wiped and oh no, you made a sandwich on the chopping board. It's had bread on it. We need to sterilize it. No, you don't. A few breadcrumbs ain't gonna harm anyone. Well, maybe if you chop, had sausages on there, or pork or chicken that's uncooked. Yeah, and yes, fish tank water does taste better than a mouthful of petrol, and I can even top that one. RC car fuel, because that stuff can be up to 12% castor oil. That's not good. Never started a fish tank siphon that way. I thought that it could happen was enough to make me want to hurl. Poor little pump before I got the tank with the sink attachment. Oh no, Mandy would be alive without the espressos and the coffees. Just Mr. Zen would not be alive. Probably neither would the Zenlets. She'd be alive. She'd probably be in prison, awaiting an injection. Let's just put it that way, shall we? It's like when my doctor said to me, "Have you considered giving up smoking?" I said, "Yes, and I've also considered taking up mass murder. Which would you rather I did?" He was like, "Oh." Fisher thought as a funny satirical video, get a whole gallon of fish tank water in his mouth. I can imagine. Maybe that's what someone should have done when they did the old ice bucket or the ice water challenge. Just literally dump the contents of a bucket full of Pleco water change water on their head. If anyone has seen what comes out of these tanks when I do the water changes, some weeks it's less of a water change, and more of it's just a poop change. Because when you've got like up to 150 bristle, yeah, yeah, scrub them out of the hair for eternity. Yeah, get a tan probably. But yeah, when you've got 150 bristle noses in the tank, and they're like inch and a half long, that's a lot of poop. And in fact, I wouldn't mind betting that at least that filter and that filter, and probably that one on the far end, I wouldn't be surprised if none of them were actually pumping at the moment. I know, spinning round and doing a spinny thing, but very little water coming through. Because they haven't been water changed or filter cleaned since Monday last week, or this week. Yeah, this week. Due for it tomorrow, which will mean a bucket of about 50% water and 50% Pleco poop. Or one, two, maybe 3 buckets like that. Or a new cure for baldness I could do with that. I swear it's not going bald though. It's not the hair falls out and goes away. It just goes back in and finds other places to grow out of. I'm like, I looked in the mirror the other day and I actually had a tuft of hair coming out of my ear, not just a hair, like a tuft. I'm like, what the hell? Where'd that come from? I actually have to trim my eyebrows these days. I don't just mean like get rid of the monobrow in the middle. I mean the actual browy bits because they get real long. So you go, what the heck is that? Something keeps getting in my vision. What is it? And, oh, right, it's an eyebrow hair. It's decided to come down and start hanging in front of my eye. Yeah. Stops growing out your head and starts growing out at various other places where you don't want it. But just stay where I want you, okay? I can deal with I would say going grey, but it's white, let's be honest. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the male pattern baldness. I've got the facial and the body hair from my dad's side of the family and the bloody head hair from mum's side, so I've got the worst of both worlds. I mean, that's a pretty pathetic excuse for a ponytail. But I like having longer hair. I don't like having shorter hair. Because when it's short, you have to keep having it cut. When it's long, you can just leave it. Yeah, weird. Long hair is cheaper than short hair. Unless you cut it yourself. And let's be honest, that's a nightmare. You've then got to deal with all the hair and the. No. Or just shave it all off. If I did that, I would look like an absolute thug or Uncle Fester. Be one of the two. And I don't think anyone wants to see either of those. Me without glasses is bad enough. But could you imagine me without hair and without glasses? It'd be like that Nosferatu movie. And I've not heard good things about that. Apparently, the trailer, I've seen the trailer, and the trailer's quite good, but apparently that's like the best bits of the movie. Use hair clippers and hair and beard trimmings go in the compost. Yeah, I use hair clippers on my face because razors and shavers won't do it. Yeah, well, I mean, judging by how rapidly my eyebrows are going white, that's not going to be an issue for long. Yeah, mind you, if I shave my eyebrows, and I'd probably look like Jonas Rinksey. Yeah, not all downsides. Maybe then I would be able to sneak my way into an Arion concert. Yeah, yeah. Why is it that Razor advertisements, whatever you want to call them, ads? Why do they always show someone who's patently had a shave about 3 hours ago during the Blue Man Group? Weather's about right for that. If I went outside, I probably would turn blue. Oh, pardon me. Oh, oh, oh dear. Still paying for that vegan tikka masala I had the other week. It's over a week ago now, and I'm still paying for it. That's what happens when Sharpe eats eggplant. Uh, not good. Yeah. So it's all you watch the razor adverts or the shaver adverts, and it's always someone who's about 15 with bum fluff, or they've already had a shave. Because show me anyone with a decent set of face fungus who can rub the cream on, then get a razor and go all the way down in one. I'd get to about there and then be like, oh no, that needs unblocking. Get halfway and go, yeah, that's had it. Next. There's chunks missing out the blade. It's just, it's, it's lies. Or maybe it's just that people who shave tend to shave every day rather than once a week or just for special occasions. But then, even if I shaved every day, I'd have to shave twice a day to stay clean shaven. I mean, this is like 3 or 4 days growth. When did I? Yeah, I had a trim on Wednesday. Put the hair clippers on 0, and yeah, Wednesday. So what's that? 4 days. 4 days, and I've basically got a beard. What can you do? I mean, I'm literally, if I've got a job interview or a wedding or something to go to, I have to shave a couple of hours before I go, at most, just to make sure there's no bleeding and any redness has gone away. Because otherwise, I'll turn up and I'll have a 5 o'clock shadow like 2 hours later. Although that is the one upside of it turning white, is it's not quite so visible as when it was all jet black. And don't get me started on Just for Men, because everyone can tell no matter what the advert says. Perhaps if you start using it when you notice the first grey hair and then carry on for the rest of your life. But if I started dyeing my face hair, if I started using Just for Men on my beard and tash, it would be so bloody obvious, it's unreal. Everyone would notice instantly. Perhaps I'm just too old for these things now. Good job I'm not very vain, isn't it? that'd be what I think we're just down to re-smoking the ash now. Yeah, I think that is just an ash cake in there now. And I've left my pipe tool over the other side of the room, so I'm going to have to use my pinky nail. Is it? Well, it's still light, so that's probably not a good sign. Yeah, that's just ash. Oh well. Ugh. Pop that down then. Right. You I'm out of drink as well. So what I'll do is I'll go visit the little boy's room and grab me bottle of cola. And if anyone's got any subjects they want to chat about or funny stuffs or whatever, stick them in the chat and I'll be back in maybe a minute and two. Oh, God. Oh, if my knees work. Guess who's back? Back again. Guess who's back? Tell a friend. Right. Ooh. Don't know why I'm so thirsty today. Whew, that's cold. Right. Ooh. Where were we? What were we talking about? What is the meaning of life? 47. Yes, I know the answer is 42. But that's the answer to the question of life, the universe, and everything. So just life is 47. Yeah, I know it's one of those all-time questions, isn't it? What is the meaning of life? I mean, I'd like to think that when I kick the bucket, hopefully I will have made at least some kind of minor positive impact on the world. I'd like to think that at least some people would celebrate my life and not the fact that I was dead. Yeah, I always think that's a. Why does anyone think life has any meaning? Exactly. There is also that when you think how infinitesimally small that we are, and how short a period we have. Um, oh God, I can't remember what Richard Dawkins says at the end of the greatest show on earth. Was it the beginning? No, it's the beginning, isn't it? Oh, it's in the song. Greatest Show on Earth by Nightwish. Amazing song. I say song. It's 20 odd minutes long and basically covers the creation of everything from the Big Bang up until now. As my hope in my youth, it's just over time to grow up and do anything of value. You've done plenty of value, Mandy. You have produced life, which is more than I can say of me. Well, human life. Knew a guy that just threw his empty bottles and cans and sea butts on the ground and in lakes. So it wasn't because he's just one guy and it doesn't make a difference. Yeah, but it does. You have a lot of one guys and that does make a difference. Um, I mean, I've never littered intentionally. When I was young, we had all the campaigns going on about stop littering, don't litter, it's an offence, all these kind of things. And now I just take a bit of pride, and it just doesn't. My thanatophobia is going to flare up and have an existential crisis any minute. My life is just one ongoing existential crisis. Who am I? Why am I? What am I? Why am I? That's the one you don't want to be able to answer. I mean, there's to show how anal I am about it. There's a video, one of my bike rides, and you can. Danny actually commented, "Only you would have an ashtray on a push bike." I was like, "Well, yeah." I mean, it wasn't an ashtray; it was a little tin that mints came in. I was like, "Well, yeah, I don't want to be dropping cigarette butts in the middle of nowhere in nature." So I had my ciggy, put it out, pop the butt in the little mints in, and close the lid. Then when I get home, well, on a longer ride, when I get home, I empty it out. If it's when I say a longer ride, I mean 60 plus miles. If it's a sort of 20, 30 mile ride, then there'll only be one or two ciggy butts in there, so I leave it. Yeah, I won't even leave a ciggy butt out. If I'm walking through town with a ciggy on the go, I'll either put it in a bin, or if there isn't a bin nearby, I'll throw it down a storm drain or down the drain. Yes, it goes through the sewers and then it gets cleaned out, but I don't leave it on the ground. And that's one of the reasons that the disposable vapes have been banned in this country. It's mostly it was younger kids smoking them. Or is smoking a vape? Because there's no smoke involved, is it? Sucking on them. and then they'd empty it and then just chuck it on the ground. So it's just bits of broken plastic and lithium batteries everywhere. I think, and I forget where it first came from. I think it was a book about fishing, and the foreword or something. I think it was might have been the original carp fishing book by Chris Yates on Redmire Pool, maybe. It says, "Take nothing but memories and photographs, and leave nothing but footprints." You joke, I have actually caught fish using a cigarette filter as bait. Just to prove I could do it. One candle can light 1,000 other candles and still remain lit. Oh, it was a stereophonics line. Only takes one tree to make 1,000 matches. It only takes one match to burn 1,000 trees. Something along those lines. But yes, I have caught fish on a cigarette filter. I've also caught fish on a bare hook. Caught many fish on dog biscuits, salami, sweet corn. If you go camping for a week, you'll leave more than footprints. I went camping for a night and I left more than footprints. But I dug a hole and buried it. Because that's what you do, well, in the UK anyway. And when I go on one of my normal length, or 20 to 50, 60-mile bike rides, I take a dog poop bag with me, just in case, or a couple. I've usually got one or two in my pocket from walking next door's dog, and they have come in useful in the past. The problem then is if you don't find a poop waste bin, and the only one you can find is a normal waste bin, and you're dropping off a bag with a log in it. Probably not the most pleasant thing, but better than leaving it behind a hedge somewhere. So we all have to go, and sometimes all that physical exertion and being bounced up and down in a saddle a bit can kind of loosen things up. You certainly go quicker afterwards, though. That is one of my hopes for this year, that we have, how can I put it, better weather in the UK for cycling. It was either, there was a very short gap before where it went from cold, wet, windy, and horrible, like still flooding everywhere. Literally the week before, it was pretty much halfway through the week before I did the Peddars Way, it stopped and started warming up a bit. Even when I did the Peddars Way, I think it was about 15, 16 degrees Celsius, dropped down to about 8 at night, which to me is perfectly comfortable temperature. And then it got wet and nasty and windy again. Then summer hit and it was baking hot and horrific. And if you saw the videos from Griston and Caston, you'll see how sweaty I was, and that was at like 10 in the morning. I hadn't cycled that far. It was, what, 10 mile? It took me 3/4 of an hour to get there. Maybe that was mid-August. So yeah, then yes, it went from not pleasant to cycle in to pleasant to too hot to cold, wet, and rainy and windy and just nasty again. Although apparently we have had the wettest 18 months on record. Which, when you think it's the UK, and what does everyone think of the weather in the UK? It's always raining. When you think we've had the wettest 18 months on record, that's a lot of rain. I think the water table at the moment is like about 2 inches below the ground level, which is kind of ironic because the summer before that we had a massive drought and all the lakes and ponds and rivers were drying up. I'm not growing gills. As much as I'm starting to sound it these days, I'm not a Norfolk native, which is one of the jokes. Maybe not Norfolk, that's more Fenland. Norfolk is the extra fingers. It's the Fen folk that are joked about as having gills and flippers or webbed feet. Yeah. I am glad I bought the house on the top of the hill, not at the bottom of the hill, though. Because historically, the town I live in was an island. It was a settlement surrounded by marshland and wetland. Yeah, wetland, not wetland. Then, as time went on and things dried out a bit, and then the Victorians put all the drains and the pumping stations in further north and east, basically drained most of Norfolk. And yes, some of they've all been replaced now by electric motors and pumps, but the pumping stations are still going because if they all stop, Norfolk's going underwater again. Oh, thank you very much, Moosey. We may be a bunch of weirdos, but we're a nice bunch of weirdos. And so I probably have the least fishy fish stream that there is on YouTube. It's very rare we even talk about fish or fish keeping or anything like that. When we do, it gets real nerdy real fast. And I usually end up upsetting a few people, especially if we start talking about filters. Filters and cycling tanks, two things I generally upset people with, or stocking levels. I still get people upset with me, telling me I can't keep such and such in this size tank. Oh, I've been doing it for years and it works fine for me. Proof is in the pudding. And yes, pudding is the Norfolk for pudding. much like Rud is Norfolk for road. Oh. Spot of advice. For any Americans that ever visit the UK and do come to Norfolk, don't try and pronounce any of the place names. Just point at it on a map or on your phone or something. How do I get here? Because I've heard people get Norwich wrong. Oh, are you from Norwich? No. I live near Norwich. And the rest of the country would be more pronounced Norwich. But in good old Norfolk, it's pronounced Norwich or Norwich. Warning! Your McAfee virus protection expires soon. Accept the risk. Extended protection. Oh, God. No, it doesn't, because I never even clicked on it. It's just a 3 months trial. Yes. Maybe this year I'll actually get around to doing that video on Norfolk pronunciations and place names. We're all just doing our best to say Worcestershire sauce. Would you like me to spell it out phonetically for you? Here we go. Oh, God. Weird angle on the keyboard. Can't see which keys are which. Is it that one? No. Where'd the minus symbol go? There it is. Worcestershire. Let's call it Liam Perrins. There are other brands. Having not heard it pronounced, some people would probably pronounce it Leah and Perrins. Worcestershire. And other random silly factoid. Any UK place name that has Cester or Chester in it, spelt that way, not pronounced that way, because it'd be pronounced Ster. It used to be a Roman fort with a T, fort. Yes, because Cester or Chester was the ye olde Roman for fort, or place where soldiers are. There were a lot of them because we're an unruly bunch. There's not that many around here. Funny that. Mind you, what have the Romans ever done for us exactly? In Norfolk, not a huge amount, because we kicked them out fairly comprehensively. Good old Boudica, the Iceni, or the Iceni as it's called now. When I was a kid, it was Boadicea and the Iceni. How do you say Earl of Sandwich? Yes, we do pronounce the W in sandwich. We don't pronounce it Sandwich. It's the Earl of Sandwich. But the CH is DGE, as we would pronounce it. So we don't pronounce it as ch. It's sandwich, not sandwich. Although if you, again, different parts of the country, different accents and dialects. Why does the W disappear after an R? Because English is 3, 4, 5, 6 languages masquerading as one in a trench coat. As we have all the various original native languages, which eventually morphed into English, which became English, named after the Angles, which is where I'm from, where I live, East Anglia, where the Angles are from. But then we also had actually Map Men have a really good video on it. So we had the Vikings come over, so there's some Scandinavian or Norwegian, Danish in there. Yeah, so the Angles, the Saxons, Cumbrians, Cornish, Welsh, Scottish, all different languages. Yeah, so we had the Saxons, then the Romans, the French. There's German in there. Bloody Celt. Oh, that's a good one. Watching people get confused with Celtic and Celtic. If you're referring to the football team from Glasgow, it's Celtic. Worcestershire. Yes, that's generally the American pronunciation of Worcestershire. Yeah. But if you're referring to something of the peoples, the language, the culture, the history, it's Celtic. Yes. Like reading and reading, and Polish and Polish. Except with Celtic and Celtic, they're both capitalized. Yes. And we wonder why English is one of the hardest languages to learn. For every rule there are more things that break that rule than actually apply to them. It's like I before E, except after C, and then you can list off an entire litany of words that don't even follow that. Pronunciations change. Same two letters in the same order can be pronounced completely differently. Yeah. You could probably do an entire channel just on English pronunciations and language. And it'd probably melt people's heads. Yeah, probably the best place for English place name pronunciations, there is, say, the video by Map Men. Some of the names are so old that they weren't offensive when they were first named, and now they are, or they weren't amusing. Except when there's A in neighbour and way, and with weird words like yeah, exactly. There are fewer words where I before E except after C is applicable than there are the other way around. I don't know. And we all got taught that one in school. As a way to remember. And then you go do your spelling and you're like, hang on. Most other countries, they don't have spelling competitions or spelling bees, because generally it's only English that is that weird. But if something's pronounced away in another language like French or German or Dutch or whatever, those letters are always pronounced that way together. It's just English where you can put letters together and they can be pronounced half a dozen different ways. Oh, George Carlin, yes. Rest in peace, George Carlin. I think one of the funniest things ever was getting George Carlin to play the Archbishop in Dogma. Is it Dogma? Yeah. Yeah. Kevin Smith getting George Carlin to play the Christian religious leader in a movie. Oh, the irony is just off the scale. If there was ever anyone more anti-organized religion, his skit on worshipping the sun, Alanis Morissette, yeah, as God, yes. Hey, I'm more likely to believe in, at least Alanis Morissette as God is, kind of cute. Sorry, painting the constellations on my ceiling. There is only one person who would come into chat and say that. I didn't even have to read the names for me. Orion and the Big Dipper left. Ooh. If I go outside my front door and the sky's clear and look that way, I see Orion. If I look that way, I see the Big Dipper or the plough. Dogma is a great movie. I recently found out, for Indian prop bird, I recently found out that a certain amount of people I work with have never seen any of the View Askew universe movies. So they don't even know who Jay and Silent Bob are. I get like Mark might not be aware, Mark might not have watched Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy. Well, Chasing Amy's not really in this. It's the same people, but it's not a comedy. Yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 2, Clerks 3. That whole lot of movies, they are all hilariously funny. I didn't call him old. I said if anyone here hasn't watched them, it's probably Mark. Because well, there we go. Yeah. Random American cult movies are probably not Mark's strong point. Random American gross out comedies. We know all the sort of teen movies, the teen comedies that happened. Like the American Pies and the Not Another Teen Movie and Dude, Where's My Car, and all those. They all happened because of Clerks. B movie. I prefer a C movie myself. Got dark background painted, several planets, and constellations, and the Starlink train, maybe a swirly rift galaxy going through it. With English and Irish comedy. A bit more surreal and a bit darker. I was trying to explain The League of Gentlemen to some younger colleagues as well the other day, and that didn't go down well. And if you've not seen The League of Gentlemen, I'd probably recommend you don't. It's hilariously funny, but I think black comedy is probably, yeah, and it's darker than black, to be honest. Well, Papa Lazarou, definitely. The last time there was, well, except for maybe Robert Downey Jr., but the last time someone did blackface on UK TV and got away with it and hasn't been cancelled yet. Mark's favourite movie, film and adaptation of Cats. Oh, I think that's Mark's idea of hell. You're forced to sit and watch a CGI version of Cats. Oh God, probably rather watch Jesus Christ Superstar. Jesus Christ Superstar rode into town on a Yamaha, did a skid, killed a kid, smashed his balls with a dustbin lid, etc. Yes, we had to learn it at school for whatever reason, so we just changed all the lyrics and then got in trouble. People dressed as cats and acting like them freak me out even more when they're dancing. Stay away from any furry conventions then, Moose. I don't know who decided that furry cleavage was attractive, but they're wrong. Meow. Yeah. I like proper cats, which Mark doesn't, but you know. Mark likes Zach because, well, Zach is ex-cat. Actually, I do think Mark and Zach would have got on quite well because they're both grumpy old buggers. Very particular about who they like. I just try and avoid musicals because, like, the music's never that great. The actual story and the acting and whatever's never that great. It's just like the worst of both worlds. Rumor that it had to be CGI to remove the dark appearance of buttholes. Yeah, but they're cats. They're supposed to have a pencil sharpener. I mean, come on. Let's be honest. If Taylor Swift's butthole would have invisible, it'd have probably done a lot better at the box office. Just saying. Just as long as it weren't James Corden's butthole, because ain't nobody wants to see that. Well, I don't think anyone wants to see him anymore, do they? Didn't he get cancelled for something? The butthole, I thought it was bullseye. Just as long as you're not going for a 180, you're okay. No three dart finishes. Oh, God. Why does my brain go to these places? I was fine. I was sane before I started doing YouTube. Who am I kidding? I actually cleaned up my act. Yeah, and Zach is watching and judging. And he's not afraid of he never was afraid of catching you napping and then releasing a warm breeze directly into your face. He's done that to me a few times, I tell you. Usually to get me back for doing it to him, but it's not my fault. We'd be having a nap. He'd be under the blanket with me. I'd accidentally fart in my sleep, and then Next thing I know is there's a warm breeze in my face. He's paid me back. Tell me cats aren't smart. Anyway, my time is up. I do need to go get something to eat before you can actually hear my stomach rumbling live on stream, which nobody wants to hear. It sounds like a cement mixer. Yes, there was a band in the 90s called the Butthole Surfers. I think I have one of their CDs somewhere. But anyway, thanks everyone for turning up, showing up, having a good natter and a laugh, making the Sunday better. Peace out. Rock on. Yes, I have got pipe ash under my fingernail. Bye bye. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Sunday shop do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. Monday suck do 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 do. I love cats.